Through Napoleon's letters, we go through a recurring of his life from 1793 to his death in 1821. Due to me not knowing about historical inaccuracies this movie depicted, this review will be somewhat short because I can only speak about the movie. With that said, starting in 1789 during the Revolution in France, we are presented with a succession of texts providing context. From this opening, we understand the current world. We then meet Napoleon, Joaquin Phoenix, and come to understand his character through the current conflict. We see how Napoleon outwits the British Navy by taking back Toulon. Though he was not depicted at the right age, so I've heard, you still follow along the story. This fight scene was pretty good that I was invested in the battle. Through this series of action scenes, I am excited to see what comes next. Unfortunately, what happens next is what I heard why many people felt disappointed in the movie. We go from scene to scene exploring Napoleon's love life with Josephine, Vanessa Kirby. Essentially not only showing a different side to Napoleon, but demonstrating how much of a beta he was. Personally, I do not particularly mind some of these scenes because they give motives to Napoleon. He had a different life than just a war leader and inevitably emperor. Many of his actions could have been highly motivated because of Josephine, though most of his actions were due to his pride and ego and ambition for power and seeing France in a beautiful state in his eyes. Now, does this justify the abundance of these scenes? Debatable, though I will say it doesn't make the movie bad. What about historical inaccuracies? Well, if I knew them, I could weigh in here, but because I sadly do not, I cannot say for certain. Those who do know, please let me know what you thought about these scenes down in the comments below. I'm curious to know your thoughts on the matter. Napoleon is based more on the letters than actual history, I feel. It is because of this that it shows both sides to Napoleon, his war tactics and his love life. However, although many claim that his personality or the tone of the movie changes between these two lives, I disagree. In both aspects, he still demonstrates his pride and his ego, with a bit of aggression and mannerisms that make him, well, Napoleon. When his pride or ego is challenged or he's belittled, he answers with aggression. He has to be the superior one and not looked down upon, even if it's just a little remark like making an error. Sadly, however, because it focuses on two aspects in Napoleon's life throughout this time period, a lot of scene changes felt drastic to me, having no other way to transition smoothly into the next scene, other than just continuing the story and moving on. Although this movie had some nice costume, color grading, acting, and cinematography, what I wanted more than anything was seeing Napoleon's strategic thinking on the battlefield, and the more of the battlefield itself. Though we did get some, I felt somewhat cheated. I wanted more. More planning, more combat, and most of all, more of Napoleon's mindset and strategies that made him who he was. I did like what we got. I just wish we got more scenes of the battlefield itself. Overall, Napoleon is about one man's gain and loss due to his immaculate ego, determination, and ambition. We get some cool storytelling and battle scenes in this condensed 28 years of history. Though I cannot take inaccuracies into account, as I don't know them, I enjoyed the movie. The acting, cinematography, and composition were great to see as we follow through Napoleon's life.